Hi everybody, it is Sandy Bacus here, Sandy B. Stitcher, and I have returned for another video. First of all, I want to thank everybody for the wonderful comments and everybody asking me, well not everybody, but a lot of people asking me to come back and do another video, that they would like to hear updates and when I can get to where I can see well enough to cross stitch to be able to see my work. Um, and yes, I do say a lot. It's like my transition. It's like the word and when you run sentences on. I'm a runner oner. First of all, I want to say that I am doing quite well. I'm surprised. Some information that I found out, and I will start off with that and let you all know. Um, when I went to see three doctors in 3 days, that was not this past week, but the week before. Oh, and by the way, today is Sunday afternoon. It is July the 19th, and it's about getting close to 3:30 in the afternoon. Um, the, on Monday the 6th, I went to see the retina specialist again, and they did an angiogram on my eyes, and that provided the information that I had inflammation in my eyes. There was no permanent damage. My eyes apparently were not damaged by the stroke. It was inflammation. And that brings me to the fact that I have an autoimmune disease called if I could speak, okay, bear with me, polymyalgia rheumatica. And it is an autoimmune that affects mostly the muscles. And there are specific parts of the body that it usually attacks. Stress makes it much worse. And I was definitely going through a lot of stress during the time before Bob passed and then after, leading up to the funeral and everything. And so it's not surprising that I did have that type of a stroke. It can be caused by polymyalgia rheumatica. I had no clue. So the doctor told me that I needed to get on some medication for my autoimmune and that my eyes would get better. They have gotten somewhat better, not to the point where I can feel safe driving a car yet, but it has made it easier to read. I have read, I listened to an audiobook on Audible on my phone, and I also got my Kindle out, and I have a ton of books on my Kindle, and I put the print up to as big as I could get it, and I was able to read it. Sometimes it's a little bit slow, and then I actually went back in and I lowered it down one size, text size, to push myself a little bit. And the doctor told me that's perfectly fine to do that, that I can play video games, tablet games, computer games, watch TV, any of that stuff. Screen time will not have an adverse effect on my eyes, which that makes me very happy because I am a big game player on my tablet. I enjoy card games, word games, puzzle games. I'm not into the like regular video games where you're running around on the screen and all that kind of stuff. No, that's not me. But I really do enjoy the games that I do. Things like solitaire, Spider, um, There's some matching games that I like to do, etc., etc. Okay, let's go back. So that was the retina specialist. I have to go back again. I forget when, but it's several months, and I go back to see him again. The next day, I went to see the neurologist, and they gave me total good news. They told me that I don't show any deficits from having a stroke, that that I am doing quite well in their opinion, and that I just need to follow up again with them. And I think that's a little further out than 3 months, but appointments were made. And the third day, I went to see the pain management doctor, and he decided that he would prescribe prednisone for the polymyalgia rheumatica. That is the drug of choice. I had been on that previously when I was first diagnosed for 4 years. It did cause some bone loss that they say led to my breaking of my shoulders when I fell, but I've been off of it ever since then, and it is what takes the pain away from me. I have tried a biologic, which it didn't work for me. Well, it might have worked, but I was probably allergic to it or sensitive to it or something. It made me very, very sick and very, very tired. And since I have been on the prednisone, and I'm just taking like a maintenance dose, if you're familiar with prednisone, most of the time you start at a high dose and then titrate down from that over a period of time. Uh, my pain management doctor and I decided that the best course of action for me would be to take a maintenance dose of 5 milligrams every day and just stay on that for an indefinite period. And then we will, follow up on it as we go along. Tylenol, tramadol, even opioid drugs do not address the issues of polymyalgia rheumatica. And mine were horrible pain in my upper arms, pain in my hips, the pain in my back I have most of the time, but it was worse. Severe fatigue, and I can't think of the other ones right now. But all of that has pretty much been alleviated. I have a little bit of pain left in this upper shoulder, which could be some nerve damage. So he is going to do a nerve block in that shoulder in the middle of August, and that should take care of that problem. And then we're going to move on to looking at my back and possibly doing a nerve block in my back. Those don't last forever. I've had something, it's called burning the nerves, radio frequency ablation. I've had that on my back before on the left side, and it lasted for maybe 4 months. Then I would have had to have had it done again, and I had a lot of other things going on then, and I didn't want to do it, so I didn't, and I've just been living with it. But I've decided that I would like to be able to have more movement, be able to get out and walk, be able to do a little bit of exercise. So I'm playing this by ear and going along with the doctor and seeing what his recommendations are. And then we're discussing it and then going from there. So that is where I'm at. I actually went to church today without my cane for the first time in a long time. And I was pretty stable, pretty comfortable walking. As the day went on, after church, we went out to breakfast, and then by the time I got home, my back was starting to hurt a little bit. So I had to sit down and take some rest breaks, but I did do some things when I got home. So that is so promising to me, and I'm just so happy with that. So I pray every day for all of you, and I pray every day for myself. Um, in reading your stories, some of you brought me to tears. Some of you made me realize that there's people that are in worse condition and have had worse things happen to them than I have. I am not unique. There are so many people suffering in this world, and it's the cross that we have to bear for the sins that we maybe didn't commit ourselves, but committed by being born into a sinful world. I'm not going to preach. I'm not a preacher, but I do believe in prayer, and I certainly believe that all of those comments on YouTube on both of my videos were from the grace of God. Something put those in your feeds, and I believe that it was God. And who knows, maybe Bob had a little hand in that too. I don't know. I can't say that he's come to me. People sometimes say, oh, their loved ones came to them. No, he passed away and he's gone. I I haven't cried yet. I've had a few moments of teary-eyed, you know, time, but I have not really, really grieved yet. Part of it, I believe, is that he was gone for 3.5 years, and I lived here in this home with my oldest granddaughter. And so it wasn't like there was an immediate missing of him because I was used to him not being here. But I have missed going and seeing him at the nursing home. And I think about him all the time. And I know he's in a better place because he was ready to go. It was his time, and I am at peace with that. When I think I may have an issue is going to the cemetery. I have not seen his grave yet. When we went for his burial, it was done in a separate location from where his grave was going to be because they did a military honors uh, short funeral thing. And, they shot the guns and the whole bit, presented me with the flag, which I will share with you. And this flag is kind of heavy, but this is the flag that they folded and they presented to me in honor of him. And I'm getting a case for it. I'm going to order one from Amazon since I'm not out driving yet. And luckily, I've had people that come, and one lady comes and she takes me to church, and another friend takes me to Our Lady's brunch that we have once a month. And my daughter and my granddaughter take me occasionally to the grocery store, or we went to the farm market the other day. So I have people caring for me. One of the biggest things is that I got all the paperwork done and sent in. I did have a little bit of help from my sister-in-law, Bob's brother's wife, Cheryl. Her brother was actually wounded in Vietnam, and he is very, very involved in the VA stuff. And so he had me fill out paperwork to give, what do they call that? Power of attorney to the disabled American veterans. And so once I had the paperwork filled out to the best of my ability, he then took that paperwork and he reviewed it all. And he had just taken a class, so he was able to actually go in and upload that himself into the system. And so now I am just waiting. I have gotten a life insurance payment. I am waiting on Social Security. My husband worked for United States Steel and he had a pension from there because he had worked there a total of 32 years. And he had his VA pension. So now I am waiting to find out how much I'm going to get from Social Security because I should get a portion of his pension to bring his Social Security to bring mine up closer to what his was. And I am supposed to get a portion of his United States Steel pension, and I'm supposed to get a portion of spousal support from the VA. So I'm waiting to find out how much money, along with my Social Security and my IRA, that I will have coming in. I don't know what my monthly income is going to be yet. So I'm hoping that I hear something on those pretty soon so that I can put my budget together and know where I'm at. A lot of people talked about a GoFundMe page. No, thank you. I appreciate the offers to do that, but no, no, thank you. Um, I don't feel that I need that. Um, there was something else somebody mentioned, and I don't remember what that was right now. Then somebody mentioned the buy me a coffee. And I thought, you know what? A lot of other cross stitchers that I watch do that buy me a coffee thing. I am not sure how that all works or how to set that up, but I may check into that. That would be where, if you were so moved, you could um, do a nominal, like the cost of a coffee and put that online. Like I said, I'm not sure how that works, so I will check into it and see if I can manage to get that set up. And if I can't, then I'll ask somebody else to help me and explain to me how that works. So I will try to do that. Other than that, um, oh, the other part of the polymyalgia rheumatica that I forgot to mention is following an anti-inflammatory diet. If you've ever looked into an anti-inflammatory diet, it stinks. It's not the way I have eaten all my life. I've always been a carb person, a meat person. I like vegetables too, I've always been a sweets person. I've called myself Cookie Monster from ever since Cookie Monster showed up on television. I often said I should always wear blue because Cookie Monster was blue. But and I loved homemade cookies. I wasn't really crazy about the store bought kind. If I couldn't get the homemade, I'd get ones from the bakery in the store. But I've had to cut a lot of that stuff out of my diet. Um, I'm trying to be good. I want to be. I want to get stronger. I have been putting on a lot of fat around my middle because I can't get out and walk any distance, and I can't exercise. So that is my biggest goal right now. Walked without the cane today. Yay! That was a big one for me. When I walked out to my friend's car this morning, she said, "Where's your cane?" And I said, "I'm going it alone today." But I want to try to not put any more fat around my middle. It's not that I'm overweight, because I'm definitely not overweight, but it's just that extra flab from being 77 years old and not moving enough. And pardon my hair, it's kind of a mess. I I'm finding it difficult to get to a beauty shop. Um, my family, they work, and it's hard for me to call and get an appointment and know that someone will be able to take me. So, and I tried Great Clips where you go in, you don't have to have an appointment, but I wasn't crazy with how they cut my hair. So, um, I would like to go to my own shop where I've gone for years and years, and eventually maybe I'll get there. I've been trimming it a little bit myself, but and it probably looks it too, right? Like I said, bear with me. But I am. I feel happy. I feel contented. I know that Bob is where he needs to be. I know that I'm where I need to be right now, and I I'm going to dig out a cross stitch project. One of the ones that is fairly simple, that maybe just uses one floss, and I have one. It's got all purples in it. And using my magnifier and my LED light, I may try to see if I can stitch. It may be slow going, but I really want to try it. And I also have a lot of projects that need to be fully finished. In other words, for those of you that aren't cross stitchers, what that means is all the stitching is in it. It's completely finished in that way, but it hasn't been made into anything. Some of them need to be made into little pillows. Some of them need to be put into frames. And I am working on clearing this table back here behind me. If you can see that, my sewing machine is back there. And I have cleared off quite a bit of stuff. And that's going to be one of my projects this week. And see if maybe I'll be able to bring something down and make it into something, even if it's just getting it into a frame. There's a process that's involved with that. I do have a bunch of frames up there that I can use. So hopefully the next time I come back and visit with you, I will have something to show you, to all my cross stitch friends. And some of you, who knows, maybe you will find an interest in cross stitch, and we can get some new cross stitchers out there. And I also do a little bit of crochet once in a while. So maybe next time I'll pull out a crochet project and I will show you that. And my granddaughter just walked in the door from work. You want to stick your face in my video?
I guess.
She guesses. Okay, so she's going to come over here and stick her face in the video. There she is. That's Miranda. And she just came home from work. So I'm going to let you all go and talk to you soon. Take care. Love and hugs to everybody. Bye.